Childhood nostalgia. Hello, my name is Elizabeth and it's my channel, and today's topic would be childhood nostalgia. I've already given some explanations about nostalgia in general in my previous video, which is called Nostalgia Explained. And if you haven't seen it, perhaps switch to the nostalgia video and then come back here and we're gonna continue. It's quite a complicated topic, and I think it's because childhood is not easy for us. There are a lot of things we cherish and a lot of things that have been traumatic, and sometimes when we have this feeling of childhood nostalgia, when it hits us and we try to catch it, we try to just dive in this emotion, in this experience, it somehow vanishes and we cannot really interact with it. So it's very, very subtle feeling. I would say it's not only for general public but also for scholars, because if we take a look at pool of studies which are addressing childhood nostalgia, we would notice that there are two types of works, and one would be approaching childhood nostalgia as any nostalgia in terms of looking back into our past to find soothing remedy for the challenges of modernity, to overcome the hectic lifestyle we have as adults, and bringing back this rhythm, this slow and nice rhythm of our childhood. And the other type places its focus on relations between marketing and nostalgia, how the nostalgia is exploited in cultural industry, in food industry, in toy industry, and so on. And actually about this I would talk a bit more in my further videos, so subscribe. Indeed, nostalgia can be very helpful in dealing with challenges of modernity, with high expectations in our lives. And of course, it can ally difficult social and political situations by employing reassuring narratives about our past. The first one is the feeling of belonging. When we are kids, we are part of our families and we go to school, so we're part of our class and we know where our place is, where is our home. But as we mature, life gets a bit more complicated and we move out from our family homes. We start to change jobs all the time. A lot of us work precariously, so we are freelancers or self-employed, and that brings a lot of anxiety in our lives, as we don't belong to any group in particular anymore. And on the one hand, that's completely normal for today's life. We're not living in traditional societies anymore, and therefore we are not bonded with our social groups so directly anymore. Of course, it brings some anxiety. On the other hand, that means we're a bit more free and we can do whatever we want, unlike kids, for example. But that's what makes us a bit anxious, and therefore I think we turn to nostalgia as a support. The other thing which my respondents used to recall is the feeling of careless positive mood. When you're, for example, finished with your classes and the summer holidays are about to start, and you're walking alone on the street and you already finished everything you needed to do, and you have this feeling that you're so free and there are summer holidays which are just starting. And I believe it's a sensation which is almost not possible to have when you're an adult in the modern world. It is so because we are always trying to keep up with the Kardashians or something, we are always trying to correspond to very, very, very high standards. And we always feel that we don't fit, that we are not good enough. Even if you know how to do your job properly and you finished with all the tasks, firstly, it's almost not possible to finish with all the tasks, professionally or in personal life. Secondly, even if you cleared up your schedule and you actually are free for today or for the week or for 2 weeks, it would be always some thoughts, am I good enough? And some of the things may be not even joyful for us. We just feel obliged to do things which do us better people. And the problem is that we never actually know what is good in the modern or even postmodern world. The third thing is, when we were kids or even teenagers, we had a feeling that our life can change dramatically in 1 second. And I would say that the prince in fairy tales basically represents this hope for a magical positive turn. But as we mature, we start to understand that our lives is going to be more or less the same if we're lucky enough and nothing horrible happens. And I would say that we are losing this feeling of a possibility for a better change. It is so just because we are capable of managing our own lives and that we are making decisions. And yeah, there is no prince, but it's fine because we are the prince and we are the princess and it's our fairy tale. We manage it. But there is no future. It just prolonged present. Personally, I define nostalgia as yearning for the times when we had future, when we had this sensation that something amazing is about to happen. And that's my personal definition of nostalgia, and that's how I distinguish it from other sentiments. And I think that all these three features are a bit interrelated, as this family, the social group we belong to in the childhood, they guarantee us these ideas what is good, what is bad. So for us, it's very easy to stay relaxed and feel careless, to feel that at some points we're completely relaxed, and that's lowers our level of anxiety. Frankly speaking, as kids we are super dependent on our families, but this gives us hope for this infantile dream of a rapid positive change. And if we're realistic in our adulthood, we don't hope for it. And of course, all these features make us yearn for the past, where things were simple, we were careless and protected and felt not estranged, and being not estranged is a super good thing, which this world doesn't give to us anymore. That's pretty much everything I would like to tell for now about childhood nostalgia. And see you next time. We're going to talk about commercial features of nostalgia. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.